Hello, Bridget Bartlett here. I am the local business marketing, training, and support specialist for Builderall. Welcome to step 11 of our funnel challenge. Today we're going to design our upsell page for our coaching sales funnel. So let's enter the Cheetah Builder and get started. We can click here inside the Builderall back office to enter the Cheetah Builder. And let's go ahead and edit our sales funnel. And we want to edit the upsell page. So we'll go ahead and click Edit Page. And if you remember from the step 2 video, we already have our buy now button and our no thank you button because the upsell is the first time that we're going to give them an option. So we want them to either buy now or say no thank you, and then they will go to the downsell page. So like every website that we create, let's go ahead and click add to add a panel, and we'll click panels. And if you scroll down here, you see an application page. So let's go ahead and stick with the same theme that we've been working here, and we'll select this option here. So it's the course application page panel. Now, one of the best things that you can do for any funnel or any product that you're trying to create is to have a video. So for something like coaching, that's even more important because you are positioning yourself, you're selling yourself as the expert that they actually will pay money to spend time with and talk to, okay? So one of the best things that you can do is create a application process, because not only do you want to make sure that you can help them, but also you want them to get into the mindset of you being the authority, and you're not just begging them for money. You're saying, if you're the right person, I would be happy to coach you and help you with your business. It's also a way of saying like, hey, I don't take everyone. So basically consider yourself lucky or consider yourself special in some way that I am going to spend the time to coach you, okay? So it's all about putting them in that mindset. So again, because I want them to take action, I want to add an extra incentive, okay? So I've created another mock-up, and let's go ahead and just upload that image here. So we'll click to edit element, and we will go to change image. And I've already uploaded this, so I'm just going to select it from the gallery and click Save. So now you see what I've done here is I've created a mock-up that says your customized business blueprint path to success. Okay, because I want them to know that when I'm doing this coaching session, that I'm going to work with them and come up with their individual blueprint for their business, for their specific business, for them to reach their specific goals, okay? That's a really important part of private coaching, is you don't want just a generic game plan. You want a path for you individually, and that's why you're paying for the private coaching session. So let's go ahead, and we're just actually going to move this over here. I'm just going to move this stuff around over to the right so we can make room for our image. And with these things here, you definitely want to, just like it says, you want to add the benefits. So what are they going to get in this coaching session with their blueprint? They're going to get, all of these things listed. And to line up these horizontally or vertically so that they all are in order and straight, you can actually click Shift and then left click. And when you do that, you see we have the options here to align vertically or horizontally. Since this is a vertical list, I just want to keep the Shift key pressed down, and then I'm going to left click on each of these things. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to line them all up straight. So once we have them all selected and they're highlighted in blue, as you see, if you click Align Vertically, they all line up in order. So let's go ahead and save that just so that it stays that way. And you definitely want to have, a catchy title up here, but let's go ahead and we're just going to move these elements that we need to our bottom panel. So this doesn't want to go to the top. So like we talked about before, what I'm going to do is click here. I'm going to go to Advanced, and then I'm just going to move this to the top. So now that it slides over that. So we'll just Go ahead and add that to our panel. We want the no thank you button as well because we want to give them the option here. So if they decide to not purchase the private coaching session, we are going to send them to the downsell, which is the group coaching session. So it's a little less expensive. All right, so now that we have our options here, I'm just going to go ahead and delete this panel so we have a clean working space. Okay, we'll go ahead and save again. Close. And I'm just going to move this no thank you button down here because that's basically where we want it. We don't want it to be in such an obvious place because while we definitely want them to know that they have options, because at this point, remember, they've purchased the course. So to get to this page, they've already purchased our sales funnel course, and now we want to sell them on private coaching sessions, okay? So we'll just go ahead and leave this down here. And what I want to do is actually use a form to create the application process. So it's great that we have this here and it's saying applications will be accepted until. So again, we're giving them that sense of urgency that they need to sign up and purchase this coaching session, because if they wait till tomorrow, chances are they're going to forget. But we want them to think about, oh, I need to hurry and get that because I don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So let's go ahead and we'll just move this down here. Now, if you left click on this form, you'll see up here it says this is a mailing boss form. Now, a mailing boss form will automatically go into our mailing list, and then it can trigger an autoresponder to send a sequence of emails. But for this purpose, we actually want this to be a contact form. And the difference is because we can add information in this field, and then it will send us an email and say, this person has requested a private coaching session, and then it will give us all that information basically in the form of an application so that we can review that. That's really important when you're asking for specific information for your business. So let's go ahead and just delete this. And let's choose a contact form to add instead. So we'll just go down. You see there would be the email marketing forms, and here is the contact form. So we'll go ahead and click that. Let's just drag that to our panel here. We can shrink this in. Now let's go ahead and we want to customize this, okay? But the first thing that we want to do before we start customizing the field is we want to make sure that after they have completed this form, they go to the checkout process, because we do not want them to be able to check out for this private coaching session until they have completed the application, okay? So what we can do is go click on the Buy Now button and go to Set Link, because this is where our action is. Now you can see now it's connected to the Upsell product, but we need to actually get the link for this purpose because we need to redirect them after they complete the application. So we're just going to highlight that and copy, and we'll click Cancel. We'll go back to our form here. We're going to left click in the form, and we're going to go to Configure Set Fields. And you'll see here the very first form that comes up is the redirect after the submit. So we just want to click in here and then paste. Now we need to enter the email address that we want this application to go to when it's been submitted. So I'll just go ahead and enter my email address. And we will definitely want to make the subject something that we're going to recognize when we receive it. You've received an application for private coaching, and that way when I receive this email with this as the subject line, I know exactly what the email is and that I need to address it immediately, okay? We can set a successful message or saying that they've required. I'm just going to go ahead and use the default, so that's fine. If we go to fields, here is what we want to add to get them thinking about their business and the private coaching. We want to add these pre-qualification questions that they will fill out in the application. What kind of questions do we want to ask them? We're already asking for their first and last name, their email address, and their phone number. So let's go ahead and ask them some more specific questions. So we need to choose the way that we want them to answer when we add the field. So do we want to have them answer our question in a text form? Do we want them to create a password? Do we want a radio box where they basically can select one choice of multiple? Do we want them to choose a calendar date? Do we want them to have a text area where they can add multiple lines of information, basically like a comment box? Do we want them to answer in a checkbox form? So basically a multiple choice where they can check all of the boxes? Or do we want them to select from different options or choose a date and time? So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and choose a text box. And we are going to call this, we're going to ask them in this box, what are they promoting online? So let's go ahead and we're just going to say, and now we need to create a tag for this. So we're just going to call this so that we recognize the information when we receive the email. We're going to say this is required. So we're going to say, yes, it's required. And we're going to say save. So now there's going to be a text box on our form that asks them this question and requires the answer. Okay, let's go ahead and add an additional question here. So let's ask, what are they wanting help with? Now we want them to be able to choose multiple options of the choices that we're giving them. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose a check box so they can choose multiple answers. So we will add a tag of, we'll just call this options, and we will ask our question. We want to make this required, and let's go ahead and start entering in our answers. So we'll just say lead generation, and we'll just copy this and paste and save. And let's go ahead and add. We'll just copy and paste and save. And we'll just say strategy. We'll just add funnel building. And we'll copy and paste here. Okay, so you get the point here. So would be the options that they can choose from. So let's go ahead and we'll save that, and we'll say that our form is complete, even though I definitely would ask them more questions like, what are your goals in 5 years? What's the biggest challenge that you're having? And then give them a comment box where they can ask any additional questions. And we can actually do that by clicking here. We'll choose the text area box, and we'll just say comments, question mark. Let's go ahead and just copy this, and we'll add that for the tag. And we won't say that it's required because maybe they don't have additional comments. So we'll click save, and then we'll save again. So now you see we have our form is bigger here. We have more questions that we want them to fill out, and they can select the boxes here. So let's go ahead and we'll just click save. And that's fine. So now when they complete the form, it will send us an email with the subject line saying, you have received an application for personal coaching. And then as soon as they click submit, they will be routed to the checkout page where they will then purchase the 1-hour coaching session. Okay, so now we can actually just delete this buy now button because they're going to fill out the application before going to the checkout. So we'll click delete. And we could actually just add this little arrow. We'll just turn this right side up. But if you notice, we have not yet told them how much this coaching session is going to cost. So let's just add that there. Just move this around a little bit. So we definitely want to do that. We don't want them filling out the application thinking that it's free, and then they go to the checkout page. And now we've received an email for the application, but they have not even checked out yet. So we definitely want to eliminate that, and we need to put, up here, we'll say, and we'll go ahead and save. And that's fine. And we'll close. And let's go ahead and just make this a little bit bigger because we definitely want them to see the button. We don't want them to just skip out of here because we have also promised them a product, okay? So let's just go ahead and we'll edit the button and we'll just make this text just a little bit bigger in the headline so it's easily seen, but we don't want to make it too obvious, right? So we can actually add in here, no thank you, I will just take my course for now. And we can drag this out. Okay, now we'll go ahead and save again. Now all we need to do is go and edit our mobile view now, because we always want to make sure that we do that. And I personally just like to do that every time I complete a page. I go immediately to the mobile view, and that way when I'm done, I know that all of my pages have been optimized, okay? So it looks pretty good so far. Let's just go ahead and we'll move this down to the bottom because we definitely want them seeing all of the options before they go down here, but we do have a little bit of work. So let's go ahead, we'll click in the headline here, we'll go to general settings. It is a neutral text, so it allows us to edit the mobile view from here. So we'll just go ahead and make that a little bit bigger. We want to make our image bigger, so we'll go to edit element here. Let's scroll down to lateral spacing. And let's go ahead and just make this a little bit bigger here. We can make this below the video because we definitely want them to notice the video right away, and then they'll see their blueprint. This all looks pretty good. It's all lined up correctly. We could make this just a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and just, there we go. Let's go ahead and make this box just a little bit wider so that it accommodates all of our elements there. To lateral spacing, let's make that a little bit wider there. And since we changed that to a 7, let's go back up here and change this to a 7 as well. That way they are the same width. And you see our form is a little bit wide, so let's go ahead and edit that. So we'll just bring that in just a little bit. There we go, much, much better. And then let's go ahead and just put this text on 2 lines here. So let's make the box or the button just a little bit more narrow so that it makes it, there you go, much, much better. Let's add a little bit of space at the bottom here. Okay. So it looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and we'll go back to the desktop view. And of course we want to save. That's fine. And we'll close. And let's go ahead and look at the live view. So we'll preview. And here's what our upsell page will look like. So we're selling our personal coaching. We have the price here. We have the application. We have our video where we're going to introduce ourselves and we're going to tell them in video and in writing all of the amazing things that we're going to do for them in our private coaching. And if they choose to not purchase, they can click here to go to the downsell item. So now that we have designed our upsell page, in the next video, we're going to design the next page in our funnel, which is the downsell page. So until then, go build it with Builderall.